Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien and today's bulletin. Nelson's historic Dunn track is under threat. Mapua housing boom is a strain for resources. Headmaster responds to puffer jackets and much more. New Zealand's first railway, the Dunn Mountain Track, could now be under threat of slipping into oblivion as the Brook Waimarama Bird Sanctuary's 4-metre high predator fence undermines the heritage track. I spoke with ex-Nelson councillor and Nelson Residents Association President Mike Rodwell this week about concerns he's been voicing to council since the fence began. Mike, thanks for coming to talk to us today.
My pleasure, Graham.
You went to both councils, told them about your concerns about the Dunn Mountain and the cutaway for the fence that they're doing. We've had a slip, we've got a new geotech report. Can you tell us a little bit about where we are now, do you think?
Graham, that's a very good question. This damage was predicted years ago, well, about 4 years ago when I first heard it was going to be so close to the Heritage Trail. It's a very steep section up there. We're talking, this particular section's between Four Corners and Third House, and for those that are go up there, it's a particularly steep section. And as a young man, I remember looking over the side and thinking, well, any activity below this railway trail, this original railway trail, the whole thing would slip away, and never envisaging such a very intrusive slip. Most people would think a fence line was probably not very wide, a 1.5 metres or something like that, but they have to take vehicles up to service it. So the bench is 2.5 metres. It's
wow.
A huge intrusion into the slope face.
And that slope face, is it 40?
Well, I thought it was about 50 degrees, but I see in the geotech report some of these sections there 60, 65.
So you're benching out a 65 degree.
Well, in some places,
slightly,
yeah. Well, I don't know how this interview will go, but I guess you'll touch on to the geotech report and the consent, because yeah, you're right, 50 metres, but sadly, in places apparently they've gone closer. We haven't been able to get up there for a look. We wrote to the council and they said it's too dodgy with the work going up there. So I've not physically seen it.
Yeah, we've got the photos from the geotech report, which we'll see. Yeah, that's the next issue is the resource consent. They got a resource consent for it, which said they had to stay 50 metres away from the thing, and that's actually 50 metres straight down, basically.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, firstly, I think that's too close anyway, but I'm no geotech expert. But sadly, and I've been unable to get up there, but from the geotech report, we've been told that there's been breaches. They've dug it closer. Expediency, I suppose. It was just a...
Yeah, I've read in the report that was, they come across real hard ground to dig through, so they went in closer. I mean, we're talking about resource consents. I mean, we know how hard council goes against the residents when they breach resource consents, as we know from the 25mm fence debacle that we're going through with council. Yeah.
Well, my answer to that, Graham, with the greatest respect for the homeowner on the corner of whatever it may have been, Van Gus, this is a 150-year-old heritage trail. This trail was built before the American Civil War.
Yeah.
It's an amazing piece. It's a wonderful piece of work that's been done, and it's got its national heritage status, being the first railway in New Zealand.
Well, and as a historical place, what does a historical society have to say about this work that's going on up there?
Well, all credit to Ken Wright, and maybe you should get him in the studio, and after this interview perhaps give him a call. But no, Ken's a good guy. He's actually done a submission on some of the Waterworks Reserve. But yeah, they were concerned and they wrote to council. And they had a letter back to saying that would be, some repair work done. So I guess in support of the Heritage Society, I'm a member of it actually. We can't actually do any more than that. We can write a letter of concern,
sure.
And we've got a letter back and saying it's going to be fixed, but I don't know when and I don't know how. I've actually seen in this report some of the measures that they've suggested to fix it. I don't think, like my predictions of the track failing with this work, I would predict that this won't survive either. The remedies, it's such a fragile area. I can't see these remedies being working on.
Just quickly, Mike, can you remember what some of the remedies are?
Yeah, there were two types. One was timber shoring, like we see, on a lot of places. The big tannalised posts, and the other one was Gabon bags with shot rock, and that's quite effective too, of a way of stabilising a bank. But because this is so steep, because the two benches are close together, the loading, and because it's about 4 metres in height, that the loading will be so great, that's just my humble opinion, that won't survive either. It's just one bad thing after another.
That's right. I mean, how much money are we going to pour into trying to fix something?
Well, that's frightening.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
And just going back to the consents, when they clean up the Dun Mountain track, I mean, there's resource management consents and that go with that track. There's
definitely
things that they can't do to that track.
Yeah, there's conditions. I'm not that familiar with it, but I do understand that slip material has to be trucked off, moved away to sites. But not being able to get access, we wrote a year ago to get up there. The Nelson Historic Society and the Nelson Residents Association, we both wrote, and we both got letters back saying, we got no access. So, not sure what's going up there. I've seen very interesting photographs from mountain bikers that go up there, but I understand there's breaches probably every day and up and down all down the line.
Because from the photos from the Geotech report, I mean, the trees have been cut down and basically pushed over the bank.
Yeah, well, that's
and I've also talked to people that said that they're using that spill to make the gradient easier up that track.
Well, all I can say, Graham, the time has definitely come now for the Heritage New Zealand to come and visit, send a field officer over and come and check it all out.
Sure, because like you say, this historic track, I mean, it's been in the New Zealand Geographic. It's had write-ups all over the place.
Our mayor, Rachel Reese, said it was a pristine piece of mountain trail, which it really what it was.
No phone and no internet in the Mapua area continues on, with around 70 homes and businesses communication lines down in the area. A Chorus exchange box mounted near the road on Bronte Road off State Highway 6 seems to be the cause of this communication problem after an unknown vehicle collided with it sometime on Friday night. Chrissy Small caught up with one affected business owner who relies on the phone and internet for bookings, Playhouse co-owner Nick Rowland, and she also spoke to one of the 8 specialist workers brought in from around the country to help repair and replace the exchange and fibre cables. With such a high cost involved with this repair, the vehicle driver should be nervous about making sure that when caught, their insurance is well up to date.
Nick, we're here at the Playhouse, and of course you've had no phone, no email and no internet.
Oh, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. No. No, we haven't had phone or internet since Friday. So Friday evening about 11 o'clock. Luckily we had cashed everyone off in the restaurant, so we didn't have issues on Friday. Saturday we were back to the old zip-zap machine, the old 1985 styles. But we had a ball, so we had a ball on, so it was a bit fancy dress, so people started tabs and whatnot. So that was fine. They all had credit cards with them. Sunday was okay, but yeah, it's getting dark now. I mean, it's difficult 4 days in, and I don't think they're going to get back till Friday.
Is there going to be any compensation, especially for businesses like you who really rely on that communication source?
I'd love to say there would be. They might. I'd imagine they'll probably reimburse us a week, for the days that we have lost phone and internet. But I can't see any type of loss for business. I'd be very surprised if Spark stumped up for anything like that. They advised us to go to our insurers if we have any issues like that, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, can you insure against stuff like this?
You can, but it's, just the cost of literally trying to claim it would be your time wouldn't be, it would be wasted, basically, yeah.
Have they got any idea what's actually happened to the system?
Yep, a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, not sure what the colour was, smashed into a transfer box on Bronte Road, and there are currently gentlemen there working on it, but talking to them, they said Friday. But they said if I bring them lunch, they might do it quicker.
Oh, I guess that's some incentive, but I guess you could always Well, lace it with something that speeds them up and
Bit
gets
of,
that internet happening.
No, I don't know if I do that, Chris, but just general energy might get them across the line.
Yeah, a bit of and some ultra fast speed on fixing the problem would be great.
Exactly, that would be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice to get it fixed ASAP.
So, any idea about what this may have cost your business?
Because we can't take bookings, we don't know. It's very hard because we can't get phone calls in. We have no idea how many people have called. Some people might choose to leave a message. I've also heard that the message machine doesn't go through to the telecom message machine all the time. So it's very hard to say. I mean, we're almost fully booked for this coming weekend, so that's nice. But there's a play coming up. They need a couple more bookings. That'd be nice. So come along to the play.
Yeah, what's the play?
The play is called Last Man Standing, and it's a comedy / musical about teachers that get tricked into going onto a reality TV show. That's on the 27th to the 29th, I believe. Right. Should be good times.
Great. So there's still some vacant seats there, and people should. Yeah. Well, if they want to come, do they just arrive here and book? Or
we don't turn anyone away, Chris. We don't turn anyone away. Yeah. They can just come. Anyone can turn up. We won't turn them away.
Yeah. Fair enough. But hey, look, Nick, best of luck. I hope you get hooked up soon so that people can start making those bookings.
Me too. I've got to update my Facebook status. Oh.
So did you see the damage to the vehicle that did this, or are you still trying to track that down?
I think they just drove off.
Oh.
Yeah, somehow.
So Friday is the day that it's going to be ready, is it?
We're hoping, yeah, that we'll have sort of dial tones and internet by Friday and internet a wee bit later perhaps. We're a wee bit unsure. We're still waiting for a few parts to come.
Oh.
But
you can't reuse any of the old parts from the other bit?
They're all twisted and mangled.
Oh.
And once all the pins are shorted, then that's the end of it. Hit it too hard and everything's we're just sort of wiring it up. It's been wired up in the yard. We just popped it on not more than 10 minutes ago, and
right.
It's all a matter of synchronising it up.
So at what cost has this cost Chorus to repair this?
You're looking somewhere around the $40,000 to $50,000 at least. 40 to 50,000. I would say a lot more.
Yeah, that's a modest estimate.
One of these will probably be 20 or 30, and there's the manpower table flying around the country. Guys working.
Yeah, that's right. So is there a reward for dobbing in the person that did this?
Oh, I don't know. There's a few car parts lying around, but
get the forensic car people onto it.
Housing development areas in Tasman region like Mapua are expected to increase after the government's introduced measures requiring an increase in the number of new build houses kick in under the new Tasman Housing Accord. Now TDC is required to increase the number of houses by nearly 10% over the previous year. With the target of 300 houses this year, with a further 320 now expected for 2016. Already in the Mapua residential area, new housing is rapidly taking place in what was an orchard. This 80-section residential subdivision approved last year with what is looking to be infill housing north of Mapua Drive is well underway. TDC is currently considering a further 92 residential section subdivision application for another property between Aranui Road and Ewa Street that spans 10.2 hectares. A large area of Western Mapua has also been zoned for residential housing, with a total of about 63 hectares capable of accommodating about 320 new houses. Plus development going on for rural residential from the Mapua Ruby Bay area and a wider area from Appleby and Hoddy Road in the south to Tasman in the north. All this growth around Mapua has already put a strain on Mapua School and the House Centre in particular, with many more families and retirees attracted to the area for this quieter lifestyle. Unfortunately, residents have not been consulted about any of the new developments caused by reduced requirements for notification in the Resource Management Act passed by government in 2013, which seems to be working well for developers. Now the accord is signed, sealed and delivered, some expect that the government will be placing strong measures to increase the pace of development and reduce notification requirements even further. And as TDC councillor Judine Edgar was quick to point out in an interview last week on this accord, it is unlikely that provisions made will see, if any, dramatic reduction in costs passed on to the home buyer. Motueka High School headmaster Scott Haynes has sent out a letter out to parents this week to explain the school's stance on recent publicity over the puffer jackets issue after a school student's Facebook page and petition hit the national news media. He said the views of students and the community are important to the school, and in July 2012, when considering the current uniform that students now wear, they undertook a process of comprehensive uniform consultation that involved collecting feedback from students, current parents, prospective parents, from contributing school and staff. In total, we received 856 responses to their survey. Only 82 people, or 12% of all those surveyed, indicated that they would like to see other options added to the school uniform. Of this 12%, the most preferred options in order of popularity was a Mott High School hoodie, followed by any plain black jacket, and then puffer jackets. The Board Uniform Subcommittee considered this feedback carefully and did their best to deliver on the wishes of the school community. In addition to the 3 jacket options available for students to wear, other options to keep students warm include the school jersey, school vest, scarves and school beanie. Students are also able to wear long sleeve thermals, and woolen tights form part of the uniform for girls. While school heating is already monitored twice daily and boosted if appropriate, they intend to re-examine this area to ensure that it is appropriate and meets student and staff needs. We recognise the passion of the student who raised this issue. The student had not made a formal request seeking for the board to review the inclusion of puffer jackets as part of the school uniform. However, since learning of this petition, Mr. Haynes became aware that the student who created the petition raised the issue at a student council meeting in 2014. However, at the time, it did not receive support from other students to progress the matter further. Tasman celebrant Terry Everett has been awarded the Quoll Mark status for her event business, The Dream Maker, and is the only New Zealand celebrant and event manager who has ever gained this status. Government organisation Quoll Mark undertake quality assurance evaluations on many types and scale of businesses throughout New Zealand. Terry has put time and energy in to grow her business while promoting the region and improving the revenue of boutique providers and amazing venues through events like her successful collaborations with the Dream Maker wedding competitions. Her business has become key for functioning as an umbrella for a large team of local craftsmen, accommodation venues and other relevant small businesses working in a collaborative approach to achieve and maintain a high quality standard and expertise. Until now, there has never been a national or official quality recognition in the overlapping field between the wedding and tourism industry. Terry also has the New Zealand Enviro Award, for which she received a bronze rating for her passion in upholding the standards required for protecting the environment. Currently, Dream Maker is now running a second winter wedding competition in Golden Bay through their Dream Maker Facebook page.
It's all been done.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more. Jacob.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
The film Mary Meets Muhammad is a documentary film that will be showing on Friday the 19th. You can watch the movie trailer on the link shown. Please contact the Multicultural Council for more details on tickets. Sit and Be Fit is on at the Victory Community Centre Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the Victory Community Church, 238 Upper Vanguard Street. School terms only.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Rats, stoats and possums are killing our native birds and reptiles. You can stop this tragedy.
The Brookway Marama Sanctuary is building a pest-proof fence which will allow native wildlife to flourish and spread into our lives.
Help us preserve our native wildlife.
Your support is needed now. You can personally or as a group sponsor a fence post for as little as $100, including the legacy of a personalised plaque.
Go to thebrooksanctuary.org or give us a call.
And be part of this exciting community project.
The Brookway Marama Sanctuary, returning nature to the Nelson region.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546-4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
.1 The Shed.
Maybe me and you, perhaps in a while. If you wanted to.
can't be denied. I just want you here so we can do what lovers do. Lovers walk in the park, kiss in the dark, they're hardly ever apart. We do what lovers do. Lovers talk on the phone, they smooch and they moan, won't leave each other alone. We do what lovers do, just me and you. Everywhere you turn, my love will be there. Should you feel concerned, my comfort is here. No, I wanna learn, so we can do what lovers do. Means a world to me, if this love is true. Now the heart's set free, and starting anew. If we both agree, we can do what lovers do. Lovers sharing their lives, no need to disguise the look of love in their eyes. We do what lovers do. Lovers greet the new day in a lover's cafe. Love and live in this way. We do what lovers do, just me and you. Other people say, you know love is blind, and I hope and pray we will both find there will come a day when we can do what lovers do. We can do what lovers do. We can do what lovers do. Little things you do, the way that you smile, maybe me and you, perhaps in a while. If you wanted to, we could do what lovers do. We could do what lovers do. We could do what lovers do.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power.
Electronics toys.
Sound systems, cables, and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Discover the Belgrove Tavern, just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6. A restaurant, functions, weddings, barbecue, garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come in, see us.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 546408.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.